back, Scott from Wessex Blades. I've got a bit of an update when it comes to me offering things for sale and the way that you can contact me and view the things I'm offering in a way that would not affect the YouTube algorithm. So if you just bear with me, okay, and I'll go through my rationale behind what I'm up to. Right, now I spent on and off a few days this week as I'm going through some leather work and listening to people's ideas and tips on not necessarily playing the system, but trying not to shoot yourself in the foot when it comes to the amount of time and effort that goes into editing a video, and then you put it up on your YouTube channel, and then before you know it, you've done something tactically that is not doing you any favours. Now, one of these things is if I was doing a batch of, let's say, 3 knives, and I was offering one up because 2 were in order, and I was trying to get you know, a little bit more back on that batch by offering one up for sale. Now I could do a little post on Instagram, but as soon as I would put the link to my email or a link to the page on my Weebly website in order to view it and, you know, for you to consider it or whatever, all I'm doing then is moving you away from YouTube, and YouTube hates that. There's loads of little options that I could have done in order to try and jazz up my YouTube, you know, and edit in a little bit more snappy, and all these little tips and tricks that you do just to make YouTube vids have a little bit more appeal. But at the end of the day, if you send someone off the platform, YouTube looks at that and goes, "We don't like you." Okay. The result of this is we're coming up to 10,000 subs. My views are only getting 400 to 500 views, which is like 5%. It's as bad as Facebook is at the moment. You know, 2,900 people haven't heard from you in a while. You do an update, 29 people has been reached. Okay. They've changed everything, and the one thing that I've picked up that I might be able to do something about is this forwarding on tactic, in order to just offload something every now and again when I've done a batch of Ferro, I've done a batch of West Keys, and things like that, rather than a direct link from that video to, let's say, my website. What I thought about doing was having another YouTube site, and I'll forward you to that. Now what that means is, for anybody who wasn't really invested in that video to look at my chat as I'm introducing 5 minutes of spiel, as it were, about a new batch of West Keys or a different finish on them or anything, they'd scan through it anyway. And for those who are generally interested in buying a bit of Wessex Blades, all you would then do is I literally make a mention of got some West Keys. If you follow the link in the description box, there'll be a more in-depth, a better illustration of what I'm offering on a different YouTube platform, different YouTube vid, and then what that would do is YouTube would look at that video on my main YouTube site, and all they'd see is I'm forwarding you to another video on YouTube, and I wouldn't be killing the feed playing with the algorithms, because if you can imagine, I'm putting all the time and effort into doing knives or whatever, but nobody would have heard of me in the very beginning without the projection of YouTube. And in order that I try and do the best I can for myself running a business, is to keep using YouTube in order to project myself. And we're all in the same boat together, where YouTube at the moment is really deadening down on the reach of things such as knives, such as guns, such as independent off-grid living, and things like that are getting dumbed down. That's been part of this week of trying to come up with a strategy in order to just slightly increase the potential of videos on my main YouTube channel reaching someone, as opposed to literally shooting myself in the foot by directly funneling people away and off platform. And that goes along with other things that I've had a couple of emails about, which is going back over t-shirts. And someone had a really interesting proposition, and that was where I would have goals for the future when it comes to the workshop, like installing an extraction system as an example. It would be costing so much, and I'm going to be doing specifically a couple of batches that, in the great scheme of things, these batches, 2 or 3 knives, are going towards the purchase of, the forwarding of, the advancement, the evolution of developing the workshop in terms of equipment or add-on bits or replacement things like that. And then obviously people can have a bit more of a investment in my little journey in the workshop of how I've been after something for a few months, and then when it finally turns up, we're all going, yay, it's actually turned up. So something like that also could be tackled. Say the t-shirts, I mentioned a couple of months ago that the couple of places locally that were really struggling as bricks and mortar shops, it was a real faff backwards and forwards of USBs, getting logos sorted out, working out what colour jackets, what range within the suppliers that they were using, the fabrics that it is, without being able to wear it for a few weeks and chuck it in the washing machine a few times, and backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And in the end, they both of these guys went online anyway, and it was just like, well, you can just imagine if I had any orders of like 15 shirts and took deposits and then shelled out myself the extra couple of £100 for a big batch in order to get, and when I went there, the damn shop's shut. So in order to tackle that, and through a branding printing site that I've now tested out, and the shirt that I've used, it's gone through the washing machine 3 times and it's absolutely fine. So I'm more than confident to now offer that up to people who would like to have a little piece of Wessex blades without not necessarily investing in a 200 odd pounds worth of knife and sheath. And the same goes for ferro rods and the Wessex, where on the main site, as an update, I'm offering and then I would only then forward the people who are then interested to a video where I go more in depth, and then from there it would be to the website or my email. What that would do was be the new slave channel, as it were. That would then take the hit for YouTube as a sacrificial sort of, that site is like a lost leader. That's the one that is going to get hit by the algorithm, whereas opposed my main channel, with knocking on the door of 10,000 subs, I wouldn't be driving off of YouTube anybody who's interested in purchasing something. So let's just say 20 people were interested and came off. Not only would that main vid not get 10 people coming off, but the other site would get 10 people joining that one, which get a few views, but the little channel will be the one that gets penalised in terms of reach. The main channel wouldn't. It's a real game at the moment when it comes to using social media, and rather than do something that's far more aggressive in terms of merchandising, I'd rather keep that off of the main site. I'd rather keep it so the main sort of corral of YouTube for Wessex Blade is about what it would be normally. So out in the woods if I can every couple of weeks, the workshop stuff, the leather stuff, the updates, the UK Knife Show, the camps and things like that would generally stay the same, but it would give me the opportunity just to try and drive a little bit more effectively on more of the commercial and the branding thing on a site where, if you weren't up for that at that time, you just would have a few minutes of it, as opposed to more of a committed vid on the main channel, and you'd just be directed off if you were into that sort of you wanted a purchase or something. You just go to another site. It's literally one click and then you're directly to the relevant video. And then obviously the t-shirt site that I'm looking to use is not the easiest one to navigate, but what I can do is bring up the hoodie, bring up it's got girls' leggings and things, or a bandana scarf for girls as well, and rather than you trying to navigate that, I can get the direct link and leave it in the description box on the little site, and you can just click straight to it, and you come directly to that point, as opposed to trying to search through menus and things. So it'd be a lot easier for anybody who wanted to buy a little piece of Wessex Blades in order to support me and the channel and everything, without say killing the algorithm on the main channel with people coming off the platform and going to the site. I don't know if anybody else is doing it, but it just came across as an idea that it would work in a way, I think, and it just gives a more defined role to the sacrificial one, without coming across too branding on the main site, which not everybody's into. So something like this one I did for Peter, I think it was. Well, normally, farewell to, and I do the normal sort of thing like that. And then for this one that is spare, I would then go, this one's available, 20 seconds of and if anybody's interested, there's a link below in the description box, direct to, and a far more dedicated upload on the slave channel. Then the big vid on my main site wouldn't get hit in the algorithm, and anybody who was interested would then follow the link, and you're direct to what would be the video for something like this purchase. And the same goes for West Keys or fair rods, or other little things that I'd be offering up. So I think it was a simpler way of doing it. As far as I can work out, it should work to my benefit. It should be simple for you to follow what's going on, and then obviously if you were interested in seeing progression of workshop, and I'm going to say my next goal is an extractor in the workshop. The batch will be offered up in order to try and fund that, and then main update etc will be on the main site as I move forward, but without the main site getting cluttered up with me doing flog it, if that makes any sense. I think that's about it. Yeah, it was just basically it's a way for me to offer things up, and give a little bit more space for the main channel, especially as there's a lot of people been interested in me doing mead videos, which I'm just on the verge of being prepared to show how I do it. Not an expert in any way, shape or form, but what with tips from Rob Sullivan and following tutorials on the internet, I'm just about at the point where I'm quite happy to, you know, just show the simple caveman way that I'm making mead, and then sort of move forward with that. So if anybody's interested in purchasing this one, there'll be a more in-depth video, and we'll just play it by ear, see how it goes. There'll be a link in the description box here forwarding you to a more dedicated video showcasing this and the way to purchase it. So, Scott from Wessex, thanks for joining me again, and let's see how this goes. Thanks for joining me.